I was wondering the other day, what is it with this game that brings me back over and over again? Is it the gambling-like mechanics? Or the adrenaline rush you get when you complete a difficult mission? Or is it my love for challenging strategy games? All these for sure play a part in it, but the answer is not what you think it is. It's the soldiers. Let me explain. You can play 100 campaigns, and each one will be unique and different, thanks to the game's random nature. If you treat each campaign as a story, then the soldiers are the main characters. They will go through the most development. I'm the one who is responsible for their success, and for their failure, and when I occasionally lose them, it does make me feel like shit. Because of the Roulette Plus mod, each soldier is even more unique, and I would like to dedicate this episode to present them to you. But before we get into that, I will quickly recap the situation at the base. It is currently the 1st of September, and I expect this month to be very challenging in the tactical game, but I hope that my air game will finally be very successful. I have just made a huge investment for my fleet to be outfitted with laser weaponry, which greatly increases the chances of hit, so I can finally use the defensive stance while combating UFOs. The only thing I'm lacking at the moment are the ace pilots. Last month, I lost my best guy in a dogfight with a scout, but I hope that these new toys will have their effect, because they were fucking expensive. At the base management, the first 2 levels are almost filled up entirely with facilities, and I managed to rack up some sweet adjacent bonuses. If the RNG god wills it, I will start a satellite nexus within 9 days, so at the end of the month, I will be able to cover the continent of Africa. 1 additional nexus is planned, and I might even consider replacing some uplinks in the future. I got pretty lucky with the thermovent placements, so now these 2 generators provide power to the entire base, and this area is reserved for future generators. On the other side, the workshops and the adjacent bonuses are giving me roughly a 30% refund on manufactured goods, and I plan to ramp up this to 40%, and I just might go for that sweet 45%, but reaching any higher level would not be a wise investment. Currently, I have no research related facility, but they don't give any significant boost anyways, so there is no rush to get them. Nonetheless, those buildings will be situated right here. There are 2 story related facilities, which will be in these 2 spots, but this is just the prototype plan, and I might change some things in the meantime. Dr. Valen and her team are currently busy figuring out a method how to build better armor for our troops. After this project, the interrogations can finally begin, and maybe I will make some good trades with captives. The containment facility is already starting to get a little crowded. In engineering, Dr. Shen and his team just finished the production of heavy laser weaponry, and he believes that for the next mission, we will be able to recreate the grenades that the aliens are using. He also discovered a method that could increase each weapon's ammo capacity by 1, but the funding that he demands is ridiculously high, but sooner or later, I will provide it for him, because this upgrade is rather essential. And now, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to present to you Earth's last hope, the men and women who are risking their lives each day, so our planet does not fall under the rule of the aliens. These troopers are the newest addition to the roster, and thanks to my increased efforts to get meld, soon I will have 1 mech from each class. Naomi and Ainit are still undergoing the augmentation process, so for the time being, they go to the mystery tier. Tarek is a very solid mech. He got Sprinter right off the bat, which synergizes well with the base ability. The potential to score critical hits is huge, and the rest of the tree also looks very good. Solid A tier. Simran is a mixed bag. Having in the zone is always good, and I will build her to have the Grenadier perk, but her aim is low, and there are few synergies within the skill tree. B tier. Svetlana has a half tank, half Grenadier build, but her middle skills are not so impactful, and the Grenadier perk itself only comes at the Master Sergeant rank. B tier. Miral has a very good skill tree. Her whole build revolves around the base skill, and we will watch her career with great interest. Billiam is one of my favorite guys story wise. He is a class clown type of fellow who always tries to elevate the mood. His build is not the best, but he has 2 gene mods that will boost his tankiness. However, due to his low will, he is very susceptible to panic and alien mindfuckery, which is a side effect of so he rightfully earned the following nickname, and Billiam belongs to C tier. Samuel is a beast. She has high mobility and nice damage potential. I still have to test whether or not hit and run combines with the close encounters, but if they do, she will be able to dish out 4 shots at a single flanked target. Samuel easily belongs to S tier. You might be wondering,
but Commander Fuji, why is she red? She was yellow and purple before. What the hell is this?
well, my friends, she is red because she belongs to the newly created order of troops, the warrior elite, whose mere presence can boost the morale of the friendly and bring terror to the hearts of the enemy. There will always be 8 soldiers that belong to the Spartans, no more and no less, and earning a place among the best comes with a first come, first serve basis. DD very quickly rose among the ranks. She fields just as deadly grenades as her rocket launcher, and her usefulness does not end when she is out of explosives. The sheer amount of eliminated seekers earned her a new nickname, Solid S tier. Fernando is an absolute menace. He averages 5 kills per mission, has insane mobility and damage, and his aim is also decent. He is the definition of an S tier soldier. Mr. Zhang is a flanking god. His mobility and damage output earned him a well-deserved spot among the Spartans. S tier without question. Femi is a perfect combination of an assault and a scout, having the best of both worlds. S tier. Fernando is the ultimate support. In his final form, he will have 3 combat smokes and 4 medikits just by default, and I might choose for him the Grenadier perk to have some offensive capability. And he also sports a new nickname, alongside with the corresponding fedora. S tier. Yoko is the perfect sniper. She basically has all 3 main Master Sergeant abilities, which makes her exceptionally deadly. S tier of course. And now, the leader of the Spartans, Mr. Raji. He is currently at the major rank, but after one more mission, I will be able to promote him to colonel, giving extra will and defense bonuses to his squad. Raji has as much base HP as a Met Trooper, and he also has incredible survivability. He carries 2 rockets, shreds his targets, and he can give 3, soon to be 4 commands each mission. First, I wanted to put him in A tier, but despite being a rather generic unit, somehow he always shines in every mission, and because he is the most decorated soldier, I've changed my mind. Now that we have covered the big players, let's quickly check out the rest of my guys. Medics are perfect officer material because they have high base will. That is why 3 out of my 4 officers are medics. One of them is Captain Graham, who is a sweet combination of the infantry and medic class, solid A tier. Captain Strugatsky is actually pretty strong. He will soon have the Mayhem perk, which not only will boost his grenades, but his shots as well. There is a strange weapon in the game, called the arc rifle. It provides the disabling shot ability, which is a very strong crowd control tool. It also gives plus 10 aim, but in return, it has low ammo and basically no damage. However, it behaves like a marksman rifle, so the damage bonus provided by Mayhem applies, and the vital point targeting ability just makes it even more awesome. If I'm being honest with you, Strugatsky is S tier. He almost became the leader of the Spartans, but Raji simply outranks him, and he still needs to earn more XP. Georgia received a pretty shit skill tree. She will be able to offer some utility during missions, but nothing too groundbreaking. C tier. Martin got Sentinel very early on, which soon will be upgraded with the Opportunist, and the rest of the tree is also fine. A tier. Now, let's take a look at the other branch of the support class, the engineers. Doc is basically an assault who can throw some nasty grenades. Very cool guy. Sugriver has the potential to have some very deadly grenades, but until he reaches at least the gunnery sergeant rank, he will be very generic. B tier. Cam can already provide some good utility, which will only be enhanced later on. B tier. William also carries the arc rifle as a main weapon, and he has both offensive and defensive capabilities. A tier. Unfortunately, the assault class has the highest fatality rate among all the classes, but despite this, it still has some strong figures among its ranks. Glenn, the loyal sidekick, has a very standard assault tree, where there is not a single bad option to choose from. A tier. Cameron is such a well-rounded assault. I'm not willing to give a low rank for soldiers with the concealment ability, and in this case, I can even risk that he belongs to the S tier. Corporal Luthuli has the absolutely ridiculous option to combo the close combat specialist with the opportunist and covering fire, which is just not available in the base Long War edition, and I can't wait to abuse it. Ivy has access to the same combo, but it is so much better, since it is accompanied by the concealment. In an ideal scenario, Ivy will be able to sneak up on unactivated pods, and she will start the engagement with a fat critical close combat specialist shot. In her final form, she will be able to reach the S tier for sure, but as things stand right now, she belongs to A tier. The infantry is currently the smallest class, counting only 2 members. One of them is Johanna, with her not too groundbreaking build. B tier. The other member is Gabrielle, but her build does not deserve any higher rank either. Climber is currently the only man who has the adrenal perk, and it proved to be very useful in many situations. His newly acquired in the zone ability is just icing on the cake, and the remaining skill tree is also very promising. Catherine has very interesting and decent abilities, and her performance was also quite good. A tier. Despite my high expectations, Van Dorn's skill tree turned out to be garbage, so I believe an HR talk with Dr. Shen needs to be scheduled soon. C tier. Joan is also got screwed over by the random perks, that is why she hasn't seen much action. If I gave out the most fun build award, Matilda would be the prime recipient, and on top of that, she is actually pretty strong and effective. A tier. Arthur is one of the most experienced fighters. His mobility and damage potential earned him a well-deserved rank in the S tier, but I felt he is lacking a bit to be a Spartan. Sonia is in an interesting position. She has some nice damage dealing perks later in her tree, but she has access to the dense smoke grenades. If you have been paying attention, you could see that none of my smoke guys have dense smoke, which worries me a bit, because it is rather a crucial accessory. Just because of this exclusivity, she is in the A tier. And last but not least, allow me to present to you the final class of soldiers. Starting with the Rocket Boys, I always try to build them to be still useful, even after they used all their explosives, and Halo has a sweet build which achieves exactly this goal. A tier. Keifi can wield some deadly explosives, but he is just not as useful after depleting them. B tier. Zorab has access to the Mayhem Suppression with Danger Zone, which is one of the best combos in the game, and his rockets will be also very deadly. A tier. If you take out the Danger Zone from the equation, this ability is not even that powerful, and her Menku's early perks are also kind of lackluster. C tier. Now, let's take a look at my favorite class, the Gunners. Mr. Fengstri is just awesome. He will have the Mayhem Suppression, his Overwatch will be lethal, and he will also carry one very nasty rocket. A tier. Mr. Cask can get Mayhem even earlier, and his progression will also be quite nice. A tier again. I haven't decided yet what to do with Philip. He has 2 options to progress, and both are very viable. Let me know in the comments which one do you think is better, but for now, he goes to B tier. Irina is very strong. She is the reason why the last bomb disposal mission was a success, and her build is more than fine. A tier. Anyone who has the lock and load and suppression combo can suppress a target indefinitely, which is very useful on its own. But the rest of Doreen's skills are also solid. A tier. I believe Wally also deserves a rating, so let's put it in B tier. There are two blokes who I got from council requests. I will keep one of them as a reserve, in case I will lose someone important that needs immediate replacement, but the other guy is awarded to Mr. Brack, who managed to find one of my Easter eggs, so congratulations to you, and your new stormtrooper will bolster the ranks of the infantry, and Brock belongs to B tier. And just like that, we covered everyone. I will leave the link in the description for the tier list site, so you can also rank our guys, based on your perspective. And I guess that's it for today. Goodbye.